Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Micah Reeves, and welcome back. Today we're doing a Bob Ross style painting. I have an 8x12 canvas here, which I have evenly covered with titanium white. We're doing a wet-on-wet type painting today, as was Bob Ross's style. Well, let's just get right into it. If you're painting along with me today, I'm going to have my editors, which is me, put the paint colors types that we're putting down today. Once you get your easel set up and your painting all covered in a little bit of titanium white, then we will just begin with painting. So here we go. Got a 8, I think it's millimeter brush here, and we'll just take a little bit of the blue here. Take a little bit of blue. We don't want too much. We don't want to load it up and have way too much on there. Just a little bit. Just about until it looks right around like that. I don't know if you can see that very well, but here we go. So the type of pattern that we're going to want to do with this painting is just little crisscrosses, kind of like that. Crisscross patterns all the way throughout the top. And don't be afraid of leaving a little bit of white space in between the crisscross patterns, because it makes it look a little bit more realistic. And if you have a little bit too much paint in the corner there, you can see there's a lot of paint right there. You can always just return back to that little well that we've already created and just grab that paint back from that spot there. See, I ran out of paint, so we just grab a little bit more paint there, and then we can just continue on. So that way we don't have a big splash of paint everywhere where we refilled our brush. We'll just come back to that one spot where there's a lot of paint, and we'll just refill there. So we're just going to keep going down until we get probably about 2/3 of the way down the canvas. And don't be afraid of leaving those little swishy whites in there, okay? Those swishy whites are what gives it texture and what makes it look almost realistic. Almost realistic, not quite though. I obviously am not as good as Bob Ross, and he had way better brushes than I have here. These are just little $5 brushes I got off Amazon, but you know, they'll do the trick, because this canvas, this is my world, you see. When I start painting on this canvas, I can put whatever I want on that canvas. And today, I feel like just putting a lovely little sky on there. And we'll just put our lovely little sky, little crisscross patterns. It's looking a little lacking on this side, so we'll just fill the brush again up with some more paint. We'll just come back to that area and fill it in a little bit more. I think I went a little bit too far down on that one section there, but we'll cover it up here pretty soon. So it doesn't matter. If you mess up, don't worry. You can always just paint over it. And plus, we don't have any mistakes here. Just happy little accidents. Happy little accidents. Nothing wrong with happy little accidents. It's what I told my truck when I flipped it well, actually, that was probably less than a year ago. No, that was over a year ago. Just over a year ago when I flipped my truck, I turned around and I said, damn, what a happy little accident that was. I didn't hit anybody. I actually ended up making money on crashing that truck, because I bought the truck for $4,300 and the insurance company gave me $7,300 for it. So I actually gained $3,000 from crashing that truck. That's a happy little accident. Yes, it is. All right. So I think that's looking pretty good. So what we're going to do, just blend it all together. Just swipe across there, just to maintain that kind of texture there. And there we go. A lovely little sky, and it almost kind of looks like an ocean if you look at it the right way, but we're going to call it a sky here today. So we're going to want to clean that brush, so we're just going to dip it inside this little bowl of water that we have over here. I'm just going to let it soak there for a little bit as I grab another brush. This is a number 6 brush. What I'm going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the red, just a little bit, and mix it in with our white. We'll take a little bit more white there. Let's see, just grab more white until we get a lovely pink color. And these are going to be our clouds. And you might say, well, Micah, clouds aren't pink. Well, this is the joy of painting. So I'm going to explain to you why I'm making them pink in the first place. So load up your brush, get both sides nice and good looking, and this is just going to be the background of our clouds. We're going to have two-tone clouds today, if you want to say that. So we'll just go up here, just use the corner of your brush on the canvas there, and just do little swirlies. Just little swirlies around town. Just like that. Now we'll fill it in just a little bit there. There we go. Beautiful. And then just fill up our brush again and go on the other side, maybe a little bit lower this time. And we'll just do little swirlies. And this one might shoot off that way. There we go. Beautiful. We'll just do little swirlies. That one needs a little bit more paint to it, so we'll just get a little bit more paint here. Just add to those little swirlies there. There we go. Beautiful. That's looking pretty good. So now what we're going to want to do is, we'll put that one back inside there. We're going to take a dry brush here that I have. This is a number 4 brush. We're just going to kind of do little swirlies again, but this time without paint on the brush. We might dip this in the water just a little bit, just to get a little wet for us, so it's a little easier to apply. Oh, there we go. We'll just kind of rub it in there and just make it look soft, like a cloud, because clouds are soft. You can just sleep on a cloud if you really wanted to. I know I would like to sleep on a cloud sometimes when I wake up, my arm is numb or something like that. Sometimes it's nice just to think about being able to sleep on a nice, soft cloud. You just want to barely touch the canvas. You don't want to touch it too much. And we're just going to lift up on these clouds. Fluff them up. Fluff them up like little cotton balls almost. There we go. Just going to want to fluff up the clouds. Just like that. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. So we'll put that one in the water too. We'll take our big brush back out. Should be just around being clean now. And you know, I don't have very big brushes here, but you can still beat the devil out of small ones if you know what I'm saying. So we're just going to wipe it like that, and it's feeling about dry. Just do a forearm check. It's about dry. It's still a little wet, but you know what? We're painting wet anyway. So you might look at those clouds and say they don't look very good yet, but we'll come back to them, okay? We're just going to let them dry a little bit, and then we're going to highlight them with a little bit more white, make them look a little bit more like clouds. So with all that in mind, we're going to move on to the grass down in the field here. So we're going to take some white. I'm just letting my paintbrushes soak a little bit in that water just to get them nice and clean, because we don't want to mix any colors together. All right, there we go. And I'm just gonna wipe it down a little bit there. Forearm check. It looks pretty clean to me. All right. So we're gonna take a little bit of our green here, just a little bit, and I want to take a little bit of this dark green I have too, and just kind of mix them together. Dark green mixed with the normal looking green. There we go. We'll get a good angle for you there. There we go. Beautiful. Perfect. We're just going to load up that brush nice and full. And once again, we're just going to go back to doing little crissy crossies. Just little X pattern here. Just like that. We're going to do it all the way across our canvas. And we're going to go all the way to the floor of our canvas. All right, there we go. That's looking beautiful. Just going to load up our brush again, get a little bit more paint on there. We'll just get right back at it. Right back at it. You know, just last week I made a little friend. Why don't we pull up a video of that little friend that I made? Here, I like to name this little guy Pocket, because he's small like a pocket, and I can fit him in my pocket if I wanted to. Now, I don't really actually know that squirrel. That's just a video off of Planet Earth or wherever I'm able to find it when I'm editing this video. And so I don't really know that squirrel, and I don't really even like squirrels that much. They kind of scare me a little bit, but I like to call this little squirrel Pocket. I call most squirrels Pocket, actually. Either that or little piece of, you know what, when they bite me. Because, you know, squirrels are pretty feisty little guys. They don't like to be messed with. So, you know, for all the kids out there who think that you can just go out and pick up a squirrel and feed it a nut, just remember, they don't like it when you do that. So just be a little careful when you do stuff like that outside. I don't usually go outside very often. When I do, I like to enjoy myself. But when I don't, I'm usually sitting inside, doing stupid stuff like this, painting. You know, painting's not dumb or anything, but you know. I like to look at squirrels, but I don't usually like to touch them. That's why I don't own a squirrel, and I don't go outside and try to find myself some squirrels to catch. I usually just, you know, well, I'll look up a picture every once in a while, maybe a little video, watch some Planet Earth, something like that, and I'll just enjoy the view of squirrels, because squirrels are pretty cute, but they're not really very friendly. So, you know, this one I'll call Pocket. I've never actually seen that squirrel with my own eyes, but we'll just call him Pocket here today, just because he's a nice little squirrel. As you can see, we're almost getting down to the bottom here. Just continue to do those little X's. You don't want to do anything more than those little X's there. And I will never fall in love until I found her. Oh, will never fall in love until I fall for you. All right. Well, I think that's looking pretty much like grass there. I just gotta look for it myself. I got the camera right there, and it's shining a light, so it's kind of hard to see for me sometimes. But I'm thinking that's looking pretty good there. So we're just gonna finish up at the top here, just kind of merge the sky and the ground a little bit, and then we'll continue on to the next step. And remember, when you're merging the sky and the ground, it doesn't really matter how well you do it, because we're going to be covering that up anyway. Of course, this is your canvas, your world. You can do whatever you want on your canvas and your world, but for me and my world, we're going to put some trees up there. So what we're going to want to do is just clean off that brush a little bit, and then we'll grab our number 6 brush again. There it is, beautiful. It's still a little dirty. We'll clean that off there. Oh yeah, that's really dirty. Damn. All right, there we go. Not quite as clean as I would like it, but we're going to use it anyway. Forearm check, pretty clean if you ask me, actually. So we're going to take some darker colors here. This is I can't remember what this paint's called, because, this is only my second time painting in my entire life. So I don't really remember what it's called. But we'll take a little bit of this darker brown, and then some of this darker green mixed in there, and some of this lighter green. And we'll mix that in there too. Maybe a little bit more lighter green. Okay. We'll just kind of mix that up, get it all nice and beautiful looking. But we want to make sure that it is darker than the grass that we already have, because this is going to be farther away in our painting. We want the stuff farther away in the painting to be darker. All right. Well, actually, that's not true. We want the stuff closer to be darker, stuff farther away to be lighter. So I guess we'll have to figure that out. All right. So we're gonna make some bushes here today. I got some paint mixed up, and you just want to tap into it. Tap, 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 just kind of like that. Get those brushes loaded up on the tip of them. Tap, tap, tap. And then we're going to go up here and just kind of do some of those taps up here as well. And we'll make some bushes. I'll just make a bush type figure. All right. That's looking kind of, it's looking kind of oof, but we'll fix it up here. All right. All right, we'll just put a couple of bushes, maybe even a taller bush. That might even be a tree or something like that. A happy little tree. There we go. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Okay, we'll just keep on adding little things like that until we run out of space. I wish I had bigger brushes so I could do it a little bit quicker, but brushes are actually kind of expensive, so we're just going to be using these smaller brushes here today. And you can do anything you want with any size brush. Size doesn't matter. It's all about the motion, if you know what I'm saying. So, not that size is a problem for me, but just for anyone who's self-conscious about it, size doesn't matter. All right, I'm just going to give it a little check here. Oh yeah, actually that's not looking too bad. We'll just continue on and keep on doing that. A lot of people say that painting is hard. It's hard to get into painting and hard to be, getting real good at painting, but anybody can paint if they really wanted to. Anybody can just pick up a brush and paint. This is only my second time painting. I did one earlier today as a little bit of a practice to see how well I can actually do at it, and then, I decided to make this video, and well, here we are, wearing an afro and just enjoying painting. It is pretty fun to be able to make something and say that you made it, and be proud that you were the one that was able to paint such a beautiful picture, and then tell your friends about it, hanging up on your wall. And they'll say, "Oh, did you buy that at the Walmart or Target or something like that?" And you'll say, "No, I actually made that one myself," which is nice. It's nice to be able to say that you made something yourself. Alright, grab this brush. It is still a little dirty, you know. Still fairly dirty. We'll do the forearm check. Yeah, that's, that's pretty dirty, but that's okay because we don't really need it to be clean for this. We're going to be making some highlights for our trees here. So we're just going to take a little bit of yellow and drag it down. Just a little bit of yellow, drag it down. A little bit of this yellow as well. And we'll just kind of mix that together. A little bit of those two yellows, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little white in there just to brighten it up a little bit. All right, that's not looking too bad. So we'll do the same thing that we did before. Just push it onto your bristles right there. So we're going to pick a certain amount of trees to do this to. I'm thinking maybe this one right here. We'll just do it to this one right here. Just a little bit of highlights on this tree. Just so it pops out a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Just so it pops out. And you know what? I actually forgot a step. I forgot one of the steps we were supposed to do that that Mr. Bob Ross does. We're going to take our knife here. I don't really have a painter's knife like Bob Ross has, but I do have this handy little knife. We're just going to scratch in a few sticks. There we go. Little tree trunks, stuff like that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And even though they look pretty out of place right now, or you might be saying, well, that doesn't look that good. Don't worry, don't worry. Everything's going to look good after a little bit of time. All right, so there's our little sticks that we're going to be placing in there. And you want to do that before you put your highlights on, so that way you put the highlights on top of it, and then you can just barely see it, and then it almost looks good. But we'll just continue to be placing our highlights on these trees here. We'll be going up there. Maybe these two trees will be buddies and be the same color. These two buddies. There we go. They're friends. Those two are friends. All right, and then we'll put another one way over here. Kind of out here. That one will be that color as well. Okay. Then we'll take that same brush and we'll take the same brush and color, and we're just going to add a little bit of a darker red in there. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. We're just going to darken it up. Make it have a little bit of a red color. There we go. That's pretty good looking right there. We'll do the same thing. Just take a little bit, maybe, we'll add a little green in there too. There we go. And same thing. We're just going to be adding some nice little highlights to these trees. Just little highlights. There we go. Perfect. Just like that. And, we don't want to be pushing too hard on these trees here and making them, blend super hard. Just a little bit of highlights on them. All right. All right, perfect. And then we're going to make it even darker. So we take a little bit more of the green, put it in there. So this one's going to be kind of a green, yellowish color there. There we go. And then, once again, load up your brush. It might be helpful to kind of unload the brush just a little bit like that, just because we were getting quite a bit on the sides. And there we go. Load up the brush again. We're just going to add some more highlights to this one. And, well, you know what? That'll be the last color for highlights. So we'll just add this highlight to all the rest of the trees. All the rest of them there. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll put it on this one as well. All right, look at that. And there we have some pretty good looking trees, I would say. So next, I think we should fix up those clouds. They're looking a little special. So let's fix up those clouds a little bit here. We can use the little tiny brush for this one. Just a little baby brush. Just a little baby brush. It's going to take us a little bit longer to do, but we'll take the little baby brush. Just take a little bit of the titanium white there, and we're just going to use the same technique that we did for the bigger brush. And we're just going to go in little circles up here near these clouds. Okay, just little circles. Little circles. We're just going to whiten up those clouds a little bit because they are looking a little purpley. Just lighten them up a little bit. There we go. Right, I think that cloud's not looking too bad. Of course, you can still kind of see the pink in there, and if you want, you can just kind of, cover up a little bit more pink if you'd like, but don't cover up all the pink, because if you do cover up all the pink, then what's the point of doing it in the first place? It's just going to add a little bit more depth to our clouds by adding in that pink right there. All right. All right, and there's our wonderful little clouds. They do kind of look a little special, but, that's all right. That's all right. And now this is the part of the painting where I'm supposed to make a cabin. And, well, I'm not very good at cabins, and last time I tried to make one, it looked pretty dooky. So, we're going to try it again. But just remember that this, usually you're going to have to use your knife a lot to make this cabin. And I don't usually do very well with the knife. Actually, F the cabin. We're skipping the cabin. Last time I made it, it looked really bad. So we're just gonna do a stream, and then I think that'll be just about it for this video. Oh, that is dirty. Woo! I think I need a new bowl of water. This is looking gross. All right. Well, we'll take our brush, forearm check, see if it's dirty. Yeah, it's a little dirty, but that's all right. That's all right. We're gonna want to take a fair amount of blue because we're making a stream, and water's blue. So a fair amount of blue here, just kind of load up the brush, and then you kind of want to decide where you want your stream to be. Is it going to be a big stream, little stream? This is your world. You get to decide how big this stream is going to be. So I kind of want our stream to start out right here, and it'll be fairly decently big, and then it'll probably travel down to there. All right, and that's just the outline, of course. That's not the actual stream. We're going to add some more paint here. Not a massive amount of paint, but just a little bit of paint that'll kind of help us out here. Oops, I accidentally put a little bit of green in there. We don't want green in there. No green. Just blue. All right. There we go. And that's the base for our stream. And we'll save this color blue here. We don't really want to wash that out. We're going to save that. But we do want a clean brush for the white highlights we're going to be putting inside of this stream. I don't even know if this... Yeah. But it's fine. Alright, let's take some more of our white here. Kind of load up. And we're going to be making some splashes in this stream. So we just kind of want to do a little bit of some dabs here. So load up your brush like you did for our bushes here. We're just going to dab in some highlights into this stream. Little white water stream we got going on here. And then when it hits a rock, it's going to go whoosh, 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 whoosh. Just like that. You pull it down. That's like a little, it's going down into the stream. And then we load up our brush again with the bristles, just like we did with our bushes, and then we just continue on to put the highlights on underneath that little whoosh right there. All right, that's not looking too bad there until right here we already have a little bit of a start, and then whoosh, whoosh to right there, whoosh, 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 right there. That's looking not too bad, but I think I'm going to want to whoosh again, a little bit more white. There we go. Beautiful, perfect. And then we'll just stop it right there. Perfect. And I think that we're just going to let it ride all the way to the sunset. We don't need 3 whooshes. We'll just do 2 whooshes here. And in this painting, you can do whatever you'd like. It's your world. When you go to the paint store and you go and buy a little tube, they'll give you a little certificate saying that you're officially a painter. And on the back of that certificate, it says you can do whatever you want in this little world of yours that you're creating on this canvas. Whatever you want to do, you can do. So, I think that's probably about it for this painting. I don't know. Obviously there's supposed to be a cabin right there, but I really stink at making cabins. But you know what I'll do? We'll put just a little... we'll put a little bush. Let's put a little bush there. Why not? Well, this brush stinks, so we're going to be using this bigger brush here. Alright, and that doesn't look too bad. Do the little thing. Clean test forearm. dirty as hell, but it's fine because this color is darker than blue. The color that is darker is going to cover up a color that is lighter. So it is no problem at all. There we go. Beautiful. Kind of like that. There we go. Beautiful. Now we have a little bush grove thing going on. So what we're going to want to do is just give this a little bit of a wettening. We're going to go back and make those highlights. We're going to remake those highlights that we made earlier. Just get them nice and beautiful. That is hella dirty. Ooh. That's really dirty. But it's fine. I'm just going to take a little bit of our yellow here. Maybe just a lot of bit of our yellow here mixed with that orange color again. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Remember, load up the brush like that. Pushing it. Just like that. Push it. All right. Let's get back over to here. Just have a little friends down here. Perfect. We'll just, once again, do a little dab. And you see our brush right there? Nice and just, so good and tasty. So good and tasty right there. And we'll just dab. Nice loaded up brush. Dabbed up. I think that looks just about fine. We might wait for it to dry a little bit, and I don't really like how that one part's looking like that, so we might just... Well, I think that's about as good as I can do. Not too bad, I think, for my second time painting ever. So, there we go. That's the painting. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope that you were able to create something of your own magnitude here at your own house. But yeah, this has been the Joy of Painting with Micah Reeves. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want more of this or cooking, a lot of people actually were watching those cooking videos that me and Legend created and that I released. So if you want any more cooking or painting or anything else like that, then let me know down in the comments. We have some plans for some other stuff, you know, some other videos are going to be coming out here in the next couple weeks. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. So, God bless, my friends. I have no idea what that's going to look like.